My girlfriend said, "We need to take a step back. I'm not ready for serious," after 3 years together. So I took several steps back to zero. Her voicemail saying, "I didn't mean breakup, came way too late." All right, Reddit, buckle up because this one's a ride. My buddy Kevin has been telling me for weeks that this story belongs here, that it's the kind of thing people need to read. So let me lay it all out for you. Got blindsided by a text message after 3 years together, did exactly what she asked for, and somehow I ended up being painted as the villain. Make it make sense. I'm 29 years old, work in commercial construction management here in North Carolina. Been with the same company since I graduated college. Worked my way up from site coordinator to project lead over the last 7 years. Nothing glamorous about it, but I'm good at what I do. I schedule crews, manage budgets, coordinate with architects and engineers, and solve problems before they become disasters that cost the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's the kind of job where you're basically putting out fires all day long, except the fires are subcontractor disputes, delayed material shipments, and change orders from clients who suddenly decided they want the bathroom on the other side of the building. Bought my own place 3 years ago. Nothing fancy, just a 2-bedroom condo in a decent complex, with covered parking and a gym I actually use 4 days a week. Took me 2 years to save up the down payment because I refused to ask my parents for help. The place needed work when I bought it. Previous owner was some elderly guy who hadn't updated anything since 1987. Spent the first 6 months replacing light fixtures, installing new flooring, and refinishing the kitchen cabinets myself. Saved probably $8,000 in contractor fees by doing it on my own. Paid off my truck last year. It's a 2019 F-150 that I keep clean enough to eat off the hood, white exterior, black interior, leveling kit, and a tonneau cover. I installed myself. Nothing crazy modified, but it's mine and it's paid for. That's more than most people my age can say. Got a little workshop area set up in my second parking spot where I tinker with stuff on weekends. Right now, I'm rebuilding the carburetor on a 1972 Honda CB 350 motorcycle I picked up from an estate sale last spring. Previous owner was some dentist who bought it in the 80s and barely rode it, so it's mostly original with low miles. The carbs were gummed up and the electrical needed work, but mechanically, it's solid. There's something satisfying about taking something broken and forgotten and making it run again. Brings things back to life. Point is, I've got my stuff together. Stable job, own place, hobbies that don't involve sitting on a couch playing video games. I like working with my hands. I like being able to look at something at the end of the day and know I built it, fixed it, or improved it. Met Natalie at a friend's housewarming party back in summer 2019. My buddy Jake had just closed on his first house and threw this cookout to celebrate. She was standing by the snack table, laughing at something someone said, and I remember thinking she had this infectious energy about her, like she was genuinely enjoying herself, not just putting on a show. She was a graphic designer for a marketing firm downtown, had this artistic vibe without being pretentious about it. Could hold a conversation about literally anything from sports to politics, to which streaming service had the best original content. We clicked immediately, spent 3 hours talking on Jake's back porch. She thought it was attractive that I could fix things, that I wasn't afraid to get my hands dirty. Most girls I dated seemed put off by the blue-collar elements of my job, but Natalie actually asked questions about what I did. I asked for her number at the end of the night. First date was the following Thursday at this Italian place near downtown. I showed up 15 minutes early. She showed up 5 minutes early and seemed surprised to see me already there. Most guys I've dated roll in late and act like I should be grateful they showed up at all, she said. Most guys you've dated sound like idiots, I told her. She laughed at that. Really laughed. Not that polite chuckle women do when they're being nice. We were official within 3 weeks. Dating Natalie felt different from the start. She actually seemed interested in my life, my goals, my projects. She'd come over after work, and we'd cook dinner together, while she told me about nightmare clients who wanted their logo bigger, and I vented about incompetent subcontractors who couldn't read a blueprint to save their lives. She started staying over more and more. First it was weekends, then it was a few weeknights when she didn't feel like driving back to her apartment across town. By 6 months in, she was at my place 5 nights a week. Her stuff started appearing everywhere like she was slowly claiming territory. Makeup bag on my bathroom counter. Laptop permanently stationed at my kitchen table. Her work-from-home setup occupying my spare bedroom. That stupid essential oil diffuser thing that made my whole apartment smell like eucalyptus, no matter how many times I opened the windows. I didn't mind. Not really. Felt like we were building something real. Something that had an actual future. She talked about it too. Mentioned wanting kids someday, wondering what our children would look like. asked about my lease renewal and whether I'd ever consider getting a bigger place, joked about needing more closet space for when we move in together. She actually got excited about the motorcycle project when I started it. Most girls would have rolled their eyes at another guy playing with old engines, but Natalie would bring me coffee while I worked in the parking garage and ask questions about what I was doing. Even helped me clean parts one Saturday afternoon. Didn't care about getting grease on her clothes. Her parents loved me from day one. Her dad, Richard, was this retired electrical engineer who actually understood project management. We'd talk shop for hours while everyone else at family dinners looked at us like we were speaking Mandarin. He'd show me old photos from jobs he'd worked on in the 70s. Richard had this workshop in his garage that was organized better than most professional shops I've seen. He let me use his hydraulic press when I needed to swap out some bearings on the motorcycle. Taught me a few tricks about electrical troubleshooting. Her mom, Patricia, treated me like the son she never had. They had 2 daughters, no boys, and I think Patricia had always wanted someone to dote on in that particular motherly way. She was always sending me home with containers of leftovers, texting me articles about construction innovations she thought I'd find interesting, asking my opinion on home improvement projects around their house. When the kitchen sink started draining slow, Richard called me before he called a plumber. I snaked it out in 20 minutes, and Patricia acted like I'd performed open heart surgery. They'd constantly tell Natalie how lucky she was, how I was one of the good ones. Richard dropped hints about marriage whenever we were alone, talking about jewelry stores and ring sizes in that not subtle way dads think is subtle. Patricia made comments about future grandchildren, about how they'd be so well taken care of. I genuinely loved these people. Felt like I'd finally found a family that actually wanted me around, that saw value in who I was. By October 2022, I was ready to propose. Spent 3 months looking at rings before I even walked into a jewelry store. Did research online, learned about the 4 C's, figured out what styles would suit her based on the jewelry she already wore. Found this jeweler downtown named Harrison's that did custom work. Old family business. The guy who helped me, Frank, actually listened to what I wanted, instead of trying to upsell me. Designed a platinum band with 3 small diamonds. Cost me $8,000, which I paid in cash over 3 months because I didn't want it showing up on credit card statements. Picked it up in late November, hid it in my sock drawer, had the whole thing planned out. Proposed on our 3-year anniversary at this restaurant called The Overlook with views of the river. Already talked to Richard about it, asked him formally for his blessing. He got emotional, said he'd be proud to call me his son-in-law. Everything was perfect. The ring was perfect. The plan was perfect. And then it all fell apart. Got the text at 4:47 p.m. on a Thursday in late November. Was in the break room at work, just finished a brutal call with a concrete supplier who was trying to jack up prices mid-project because of some supply chain excuse. My coffee was getting cold on the table. Phone buzzed. Natalie. Hey, I've been thinking a lot lately. We need to take a step back. I'm not ready for serious right now. Need to figure some things out. Read it 3 times, then 4, then 5. The words didn't change no matter how many times I read them. Not ready for serious. After 3 years. After practically living in my apartment for 18 months. After meeting both sets of parents multiple times. After she cried in my arms when her mom got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I drove her 4 hours to the hospital at 2 a.m. and sat in that waiting room with her until dawn, holding her hand and telling her it would be okay. Not ready for serious. I sat there for probably 10 minutes staring at the screen. Co-workers came and went, getting coffee, heating up leftovers, having conversations I couldn't hear over the ringing in my ears. Finally typed back one message. Understood. Let's take that step. Finished my shift on autopilot. Don't remember anything about the rest of that afternoon. Got home around 7. Her stuff was everywhere. Clothes taking up half my closet. Her work from home setup occupying my spare bedroom. Hair products covering every surface of my bathroom. That diffuser still pumping eucalyptus into the air like it owned the place. 3 years of her gradually moving in without ever actually committing to moving in. 3 years of her keeping her own apartment as a safety net while treating mine like home base. 3 years of me thinking we were building towards something while she was apparently still deciding if I was worth keeping. Called my buddy Kevin, who does property management. Need a storage unit. Big one. Tomorrow morning. Okay. What's going on? Girlfriend just pulled the needs space card. Her stuff's gotta go. Dude, maybe sleep on it? You sound wound up. Nah, I'm good. How much for a 10 by 10? $140 a month. First month free with annual lease. Perfect. I'll take it. Showed up at the storage place at 9 a.m. with my truck and a stack of boxes from Home Depot. Spent 6 hours packing every single thing that was hers. The diffuser. The fancy coffee maker she insisted we needed that cost $340. Still had the receipt in my filing cabinet. Her clothes, all of them, organized by type, because that's how she'd had them in my closet. Her shoes, 17 pairs that had slowly colonized my entryway. That collection of decorative pillows that served no purpose except making my couch look like a hotel lobby and forcing me to move 12 of them every time I wanted to sit down. Grabbed stuff she'd probably forgotten about too. Old makeup in the bathroom drawer that had been there so long I don't think she even remembered buying it. Hair ties scattered everywhere like she'd been marking territory. That cookbook she bought last Christmas and never opened once. Spine still perfectly stiff. Framed photos of us that she'd put up without asking. The fancy hand soap she insisted on that cost $15 a bottle. Everything went in boxes. Labeled each one neat and organized because that's how I do things. Clothes, bedroom, bathroom, toiletries, kitchen, small appliances, living room, decorative items. Documented everything with photos, time-stamped on my phone before it went into the box. Loaded the truck in 4 trips, drove to the storage unit, unloaded everything. Arranged it neatly so she could find what she needed when she came to get it. Took more photos of the final setup, panoramic shots showing everything in place. Locked it up, got home by 4 p.m. Apartment looked empty. Good. Half my furniture was suddenly visible again. The bathroom counter had open space. The spare bedroom was just a spare bedroom again, not a satellite office for someone who couldn't commit. Smelled like nothing. Even better. Changed the locks at 5. Locksmith charged me $90 and had it done in 15 minutes. Worth every penny. She texted around 6. Natalie, hey, want to grab dinner? Me. Busy. Natalie. Tomorrow then, we should talk. Me. About what? Natalie. About us. About what I said. Me. You said you need space. I'm giving you space. Natalie. I meant emotionally, not physically. LOL. Me. Everything you own is in a storage unit on Riverside. Unit 247. Here's the address and access code. Rent's paid through next month. Those 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. The longest pause I've ever experienced over text. Natalie. What the hell? You moved my stuff out? Me. You said step back. Can't get more step back than separate living situations? Natalie. I didn't mean break up. Me. Then you should have been clearer. You're not ready for serious. I get it. Storage unit gives you time to figure things out. Natalie. This is insane. Me. No. This is respecting your boundaries. My phone rang. Let it go to voicemail. Rang again. Again. 14 times in 2 hours. I sat on my couch, in the middle, where I couldn't sit before because of her decorative pillows, and watched TV with the phone on silent. Finally listened to the voicemails around 10 p.m. First one. Okay, what the actual hell? Call me back right now. Fourth one. You're being ridiculous. I just needed some breathing room. Why are you doing this? Seventh one. This isn't what I wanted. We need to talk in person. You're overreacting. Ninth one. Fine. Be petty. But you're going to regret this. You'll come crawling back. Last one. Her crying. I didn't mean it like this. I just wanted... I don't know what I wanted. Please call me back. Please. Deleted them all. Went to bed in my newly reclaimed bedroom. Best sleep I'd had in months. Update 1. It's been 3 weeks since I moved her stuff out. The absolute entitlement from her and her entire family is unreal. Weekend after the move, she showed up at my building, buzzed the intercom at 11 a.m. on a Saturday while I was eating breakfast and watching college football. We need to talk. No, we don't. Let me in. You're not ready for serious. Serious would be having access to my apartment. Stop throwing my words back at me. Just respecting what you said. She stayed in the lobby for over an hour. I know because I could see her through the security camera feed on my phone. Pacing, texting, making calls. The building manager, this retired guy named Howard, who takes his job very seriously, eventually came down and asked her to leave. Told her she wasn't on the resident list and her presence was making other tenants uncomfortable. Her friend Brittany started blowing up my phone Tuesday. Ignored every single call. She left voicemails that got increasingly aggressive. Dude, she's a mess. She didn't mean to break up. Why are you being like this? You know how rare it is to find someone you actually click with and you're throwing it away over one mistake? You need to call her. This is getting ridiculous. Everyone thinks you've lost your mind. Blocked her number. Wednesday evening, I get added to a group text. Her sister Megan, her mom Patricia, her best friend Brittany, and 3 of her cousins I'd met maybe twice. 7 people total, all ganging up on me at once. Megan. Family meeting via text. You need to understand what you're doing to her. Patricia. She hasn't eaten in days. She's depressed. She can barely get out of bed. Cousin. 3 years together and you bail over a text? That's cold-blooded, man. Another cousin. My boyfriend and I fight all the time and we work it out like adults. I read every message. 23 total over about 2 hours. Watched them pile up while I ate dinner. Then, replied once. She told me she wasn't ready for serious. After 3 years. I believed her. That's it. Left the group chat immediately. Patricia called from a different number 10 minutes later. Made the mistake of answering because I didn't recognize it. You need to stop this childish behavior right now. Ma'am, your daughter. Don't ma'am me. I've known you for 3 years. She loves you. She made a small mistake, and you're punishing her like she committed a crime. It wasn't a small mistake to me. She was scared. You don't throw away a real relationship because someone gets scared. She didn't say she was scared. She said she wasn't ready. Big difference. You're being cruel and vindictive. I'm being honest. She asked for space. I gave it to her. Hung up. Blocked that number too. Thursday night, someone knocked on my door around 8 p.m. Looked through the peephole. Her dad, Richard, didn't open it. Son, I know you're in there. Your truck's in your spot. Silence. I stood on my side of the door, hand on the deadbolt I'd installed myself. I'm not leaving until we talk. Man to man. More silence. She made a mistake. People make mistakes. I've made plenty in my marriage, and Patricia forgave me every time. That's what love is. I thought about opening the door. Richard had always been good to me. Taught me things. Shared his time and his knowledge. But he raised the woman who sent that text, who couldn't tell me to my face that she had doubts, who let me plan a proposal while she was apparently having second thoughts. 30 minutes later, he left. Heard his car start up in the visitor lot and pull away. That one stung more than the rest. But it didn't change anything. Friday afternoon, my boss Dave called me into his office. My stomach dropped the moment his secretary said he wanted to see me. Dave's a straightforward guy. Doesn't do random meetings. Close the door. Sit down. I sat. Got an interesting call this morning. Someone claiming to be your girlfriend's mother. I felt my jaw tighten. What did she say? That you're having some kind of mental breakdown. That you're not acting like yourself. Asked if I'd noticed any concerning behavior at work. He made air quotes with his fingers. Sir, I can explain. He held up his hand. Told her I can't discuss my employees with random third parties who call demanding information. But I need to know. Is there something going on I should be aware of? Something affecting your work? My girlfriend and I broke up 3 weeks ago. She asked for space in a text message. I gave it to her. Her family isn't handling it well. They trying to get you in trouble here? At your job? Apparently so. He nodded slowly, leaning back in his chair. Dave's been in construction for 40 years. He's seen everything. If anyone contacts this office about you again, I'm documenting it as harassment. Third-party interference with employment. You want that in writing? Yes, sir. That would help. Good. Get it from HR on your way out. He paused. And if you need any time off to deal with this mess, just say the word. Personal days exist for a reason. I appreciate that. I'm okay to work. Good. Now get back to it. That hospital project isn't going to manage itself. The real escalation started Saturday. Was at the grocery store, middle of the checkout line with a cart full of bachelor supplies, when I heard it from behind me. Oh my God! You have some nerve! Turned around. Brittany, cart blocking the aisle, eyes burning holes through me. Excuse me? No, I won't excuse you. Do you have any idea what you've done to her? Moved on with my life. She's falling apart. She's lost 12 pounds because she can't eat. She cries constantly. She called in sick to work 3 days last week. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate? Her voice was loud enough that other shoppers were staring now. That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say? She told me she wasn't ready for serious after 3 years. I respected that. She didn't mean it like that, and you know it. Then she should have used different words. She's a grown woman. Words have meanings. You're such a jerk. Maybe, but I'm an honest one. Now, if you'll excuse me. Gestured at the checkout belt where my groceries were waiting. Paid for my stuff. Left. She followed me all the way to the parking lot. You know what? She was right about you. That stopped me. Turned around at my truck. Excuse me? She said you never really opened up. Never shared your feelings. Never let her all the way in. That's why she needed space. Because dating you was like dating a brick wall. So she needed space from someone who doesn't share feelings by dating me for 3 years. Investing 3 years of her life in a brick wall. Interesting logic. People can change. She was hoping you'd change. Yeah, people can change. Which is why I changed my locks. Got in my truck. Drove off. Watched her in my rearview mirror, standing there in the parking lot with her mouth hanging open. Got home 15 minutes later. Pulled into my covered spot. Walked around to grab the groceries from the passenger side. And that's when I saw it. A long, deep scratch running from the front door all the way to the rear wheel well. Passenger side. Someone had keyed my truck. My blood went cold. Then hot. Then very, very calm. Pulled out my phone. logged into the parking garage security system that the building manager had given all residents access to after a string of break-ins last year. Scrolled back through the footage. There she was, Natalie, 3:27 p.m., while I was inside the grocery store, walking up to my truck with her keys in hand, looking around once, twice, then dragging them across my paint in one long, deliberate motion. Saved the footage, downloaded it to my phone, called the non-emergency police line and reported it. $800 damage estimate from the body shop. Filed charges. Called her from the police station waiting room. She answered on the first ring, voice hopeful. Oh, thank God you called. I've been... My truck. Silence. I have video footage from the parking garage. I'm at the police station right now. Filing charges. I was angry. You moved all my stuff out like I was nothing. Like 3 years meant nothing to you. And now you're paying for a paint job. Officer will be contacting you about the criminal mischief charge. Wait, please don't do this. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. Can we just... Hung up. Her mom called 15 minutes later, screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. You're destroying her life. First you throw her away, now you're pressing charges over a scratch? It's criminal mischief. Misdemeanor in this state. She'll probably get probation and a fine. Over a scratch on a truck? Over $800 in property damage. She made her choice to key my vehicle. Now she deals with the consequences. You are cruel. You are a cruel, vindictive man, and I thank God my daughter found out before she wasted any more of her life on you. Good talk. Blocked that number too. Lost count of how many numbers I'd blocked at that point. Sunday was quiet. Too quiet. Sat on my couch watching football, waiting for the other shoe to drop. It dropped Monday morning. Update 2. Checked my mailbox on the way to work Monday. Letter with a law office return address. Opened it in my truck. Demand letter from her lawyer. She was requesting return of all gifts given during the relationship. Estimated value $6,200. Compensation for emotional distress caused by sudden termination of cohabitation. $5,000. Her portion of the security deposit from when she lived there, $800. Reimbursement for shared expenses totaling $1,100. Grand total, $13,100. Actually laughed out loud. Sitting in my truck, in my parking spot, laughing like a maniac. Called my buddy Derek, who's a paralegal. Read him the whole letter, word for word. Dude, this is absolute garbage. She was never on your lease. She never paid rent. You can't claim tenant rights without actually being a tenant. Gifts aren't legally returnable. That's established case law. And emotional distress for a breakup she technically initiated? A judge will laugh this out of the courtroom. So I should just ignore it? Absolutely not. Get a lawyer. Send a formal response. This isn't just frivolous. It's borderline harassment through legal channels. Hired a lawyer Tuesday morning. Woman named Angela Porter at this firm downtown that specialized in civil disputes. Cost me $1,500 for a retainer. Worth every penny to have someone professional handling this. Her response letter was a work of art. Our client respectfully declines all demands outlined in your correspondence dated November 29th. No legal basis exists for return of gifts freely given during a romantic relationship. Ms. Natalie Barrett was never a tenant at our client's residence, never paid rent, and never appeared on any lease agreement. Therefore, she has no claim to security deposits or tenant protections. Emotional distress claims resulting from standard relationship termination are frivolous and would not survive judicial scrutiny. We recommend your client drop this matter immediately. Failure to do so will result in our filing for malicious prosecution and seeking full recovery of our client's attorney fees. Sent Thursday via certified mail. Radio silence until Saturday. Then her lawyer called my lawyer. Apparently, Natalie was dropping everything, except she wanted her belongings back that had sentimental value that weren't in the storage unit. Angela called me with the update. Her attorney says she's claiming certain items are missing. A family photo album, her grandmother's necklace, and a laptop. All 3 of those are in the storage unit. I took photos of everything before I put it in there. The photo album is in the box labeled living room, decorative items. The necklace is in a small jewelry box inside the box labeled bathroom toiletries. The laptop is in its case in the box labeled bedroom electronics. She has the access code. She can go get them whenever she wants. I'll relay that information. Her attorney also mentioned she's afraid to go alone to retrieve her things. That sounds like a her problem. That's essentially what I told him, in more professional language. Conversation ended, but the circus wasn't done yet. Brittany tried a new approach Wednesday. Showed up at my gym. The same gym I'd been going to for 4 years, 3 days a week like clockwork. She was waiting by the front desk when I walked in at 6 a.m. Can we talk, please? Just 5 minutes. How did you even know I'd be here? Natalie told me. She knows this is your gym. Wednesday mornings. So you're stalking me now? No, she's not doing well. Like, really not doing well. And I thought maybe if I could just explain things to you. Explain what? She sent me a text saying she wasn't ready for serious. I believed her. End of story. She didn't mean it that way. Then she should have meant what she said. Or said what she meant. Basic communication. Brittany hesitated, chewing her lip like she was deciding whether to say something. Then she did. She was scared, okay? She found out you were looking at rings and she panicked. Everything stopped. The ambient gym noise faded out like someone hit mute on the world. What did you just say? Her brother's friend works at Harrison's Jewelry downtown. He saw you there. Multiple times. Saw you picking up a small box a few weeks ago. Put two and two together. I had been at Harrison's multiple times over 3 months. Picking up that ring I'd custom designed. $8,000 in a small velvet box that was currently sitting in my sock drawer. So she found out I might propose. And instead of talking to me about it like an adult, she texted me to take a step back and ended our relationship. She panicked. She didn't know what to do. Marriage is scary. You know what's also scary? Wasting 3 years on someone who runs away from commitment instead of communicating. She realizes she made a mistake. She wants you back. She should have thought about that before sending that text. Left Brittany standing there. Canceled my gym membership that night. Joined a new one across town. Friday evening, got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Almost didn't answer. Hello? Hey man, it's Trent. From Natalie's office. Don't care. Wait, just hear me out. She's really struggling at work. Can't focus. Missing deadlines. Her boss is getting frustrated. Good. Consequences exist. That's harsh, man. She made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Something in his voice set off an alarm in my head. Who exactly are you to her? You said you work together? Pause. Too long of a pause. I'm a friend. Just a friend. Just a friend who calls her ex-boyfriend on a Friday night to advocate for her? We're close. Work friends. How close? What do you mean? I mean, I saw her phone records from the last month of our relationship. Before she sent that text, you two were texting every single day, multiple times a day, late at night. The silence stretched out like a rubber band about to snap. We work on projects together. Collaborate. At midnight? On weekends? I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. I'm stating facts. You comfort her. That seems to be your job. Keep doing it. Hung up. Checked her social media from a friend's account that night. She'd posted this long rant about toxic masculinity and men who can't handle mature conversations about relationship needs. 3 paragraphs about emotional availability and vulnerability and how some men respond to reasonable requests for space with nuclear options designed to punish and control. Comments were split down the middle, half agreeing with her, half asking pointed questions about what actually happened. One comment from her cousin stood out. He moved all her stuff out like she was trash over one text. Cold-blooded behavior. Someone random replied, "What did the text say?" Cousin, that she needed space to think. Random person. And he gave her space. What's the problem? Cousin, not that kind of space. Random person. Maybe she should have been clearer about what kind of space she wanted. Words have meanings. She deleted the whole post an hour later. Update 3. 6 weeks since the original text. Everything came to a head last weekend. Friday afternoon, scrolling through social media on my lunch break, and there it was. Trent, the coworker, posted a photo. Him and Natalie at some restaurant, dressed up nice, clearly on a date. Caption, finally ready to be serious. Finally, ready to be serious. I stared at that for a solid minute. Then I started laughing. Couldn't help it. Sat in my truck in the parking lot laughing until my sides hurt. Texted Kevin. Called it. Him. Called what? Sent him the screenshot. Him. No way. That's the coworker? The one you suspected? Me. Yep. Him. How long you think they were talking before she sent you that text? Me. Long enough. Brittany texted me an hour later. Before you hear it from someone else. Me. Already saw. Brittany. It's not what it looks like. I swear. Me. Don't care what it looks like. Brittany. They only started dating after you two broke up. Blocked her. But the best part came that night. Megan called from yet another number I didn't recognize. Answered just to hear what excuse they'd cooked up this time. I know what you're thinking. That you were right about Trent the whole time. Yup. It's not like that. She was emotionally vulnerable after you abandoned her, and he took advantage of the situation. She texted me asking for space so she could test drive him without it technically being cheating. Makes sense now. That's not true. Then explain it to me. Why did she suddenly need to take a step back after 3 years? Why wasn't she ready for serious when she'd been living in my apartment 5 nights a week? Megan got quiet. Then, she wanted to see if the grass was greener. Okay? She liked the attention Trent was giving her, and she wanted to explore it, but she didn't think you'd actually let her go. There it was, the truth. So she expected me to fight for her, to beg, to prove my love while she ran around with her work husband. She made a mistake. Yeah, she did. He's not what she thought, okay? They've been together 3 weeks and she already hates him. He's jealous and insecure and nothing like how he acted when he was chasing her. That's unfortunate. She wants to talk to you. She realizes how badly she messed up. Her mistake was waiting 3 years to show me who she really is. At least I found out before I made the biggest financial decision of my life. Megan was quiet for a long moment. What do you mean? Doesn't matter now. She wants you back. She'll do whatever it takes. There's nothing she can do. We're done. Hung up. Sunday morning, one last call from Patricia. Different number again. These people must have a drawer full of burner phones. I hope you're happy. You broke her. She broke herself. That man took advantage of her vulnerability. And you allowed it to happen by abandoning her. I didn't abandon anyone. I believed what she told me. She said she wasn't ready. She was right. She wasn't ready for me. She was ready for him. She hates him now. She wants you. Doesn't matter what she wants anymore. She made her choice. Now she lives with it. You're a cruel man. I'm an honest man. There's a difference. Don't call this number again. Blocked. Got one last message Tuesday night from a number I didn't recognize. Long text from Natalie. I know you probably hate me now. I know I ruined everything. I know you were going to propose and I freaked out and handled it in literally the worst way possible. I know I'm with someone else now, and that makes everything worse. But I need you to know that it was all a mistake. Trent was a mistake. The text was a mistake. All of it. You were right about him. You were right about everything. I'm so sorry. I miss you. I miss us. Please. Can we just talk? One conversation. That's all I'm asking. Read it 3 times. Thought about all those nights planning the proposal. All that money on the ring. All those conversations with her father about our future. Then replied, you wanted to take a step back. I took several steps back. To 0. Your voicemail saying you didn't mean to break up came too late. You made your choice. Live with it. Blocked the number. The ring? Returned it Monday morning. Walked into Harrison's, told Frank the situation. He didn't ask questions, just processed the return. 74% back since it was custom work, $5,900. Deposited it that afternoon, paid off my credit card, and put the rest toward my truck payment. Changed my phone number Wednesday. Fresh start. Only gave the new one to people who actually mattered. Thursday, got a call at work from Kevin. Dude, you need to check Natalie's social media. Pulled it up on my lunch break. She'd posted a long statement. Turns out Trent had been cheating on her, with someone else at their office. 3 weeks into their relationship and he was already stepping out. Comments were brutal. People calling her out for leaving a good guy for a snake. Her cousin tried defending her and got ratioed into oblivion. Friday, I got served with papers at work. She was actually taking me to small claims court. New claim this time? Just $1,500 for property she was forced to abandon. My lawyer laughed when I forwarded it to her. Said she'd handle it. Court date was set for 3 weeks out. In the meantime, life went on. Finished the motorcycle that weekend. First real ride was Sunday morning. Took it out on some back roads for 2 hours. Engine ran smooth. Hadn't felt that free in months. Monday, the criminal mischief charge for keying my truck went through. Natalie got 6 months probation, 40 hours community service, and had to pay restitution for the paint damage, $823.14. Her mom tried calling my parents again to complain. Dad answered this time, told her if she contacted them again, he'd file harassment charges himself. She hung up. Small claims court came around. I showed up with Angela, my lawyer, and a folder full of documentation. Photos of the storage unit, text message screenshots, the original not ready for serious text with timestamp, phone records showing her conversations with Trent before she sent it. Natalie showed up looking rough, lost weight, dark circles under her eyes. Trent was nowhere to be seen. Her mom sat in the gallery, shooting daggers at me. Judge reviewed everything in about 15 minutes. Looked at Natalie over his glasses. Ma'am, you sent a text message ending this relationship. The defendant moved your belongings to a storage unit and provided you access. You were never on his lease, never paid rent, and the items were available for pickup at any time. There's no abandonment here. Case dismissed. Natalie started crying. Her mom stood up and started yelling about injustice. Bailiff asked her to leave. She refused. Got escorted out. Natalie followed her, didn't look back. Angela packed up her briefcase. That went well. Thanks for everything. Send me a check for the balance. And maybe don't date anyone for a few months. Fair point. Ran into Richard at the hardware store 2 weeks later. Her dad. Hadn't seen him since that night he showed up at my door. He was in the electrical aisle looking at wire connectors. He saw me first. We just stood there for a second. For what it's worth, he said, I'm sorry how it all went down. You didn't deserve any of that. Appreciate it. She's back living with us. Her and Trent lasted about 6 weeks total. She's not doing great. That's unfortunate. He nodded slowly. You were good for her. She just couldn't see it until it was gone. A lot of people are like that. He stuck out his hand. I shook it. Take care of yourself, son. You too, Richard. He walked off toward the registers. That was the last time I saw anyone from her family. Storage unit lease expired the following week. Sent her one final text from a burner app giving her 72 hours to collect her stuff. She never showed. Donated everything to Goodwill. Took 4 trips. The fancy coffee maker, the decorative pillows, all of it. Gone. Sold the truck a month later. Got a good price. Enough to put a down payment on a newer model without the scratch memories. F-150XLT. Silver this time. Looked better anyway. Started seeing someone new in March. Woman named Rachel I met at the new gym. Physical therapist, ran marathons, had zero interest in playing games. Third date, she looked me dead in the eyes and said, I like you. I want to keep seeing you. Is that something you want too? Just like that. Direct. Clear. No guessing. Yeah, I told her. That's exactly what I want. We've been together 4 months now. She's met my parents. I've met hers. Nobody's sent any weird texts about needing space. Nobody's keyed anybody's truck. Last week, Kevin asked if I ever think about Natalie anymore. Sometimes, I said. When I see eucalyptus anything, but it passes quick. You ever regret how you handled it? Not for a second. She told me what she wanted. I gave it to her. Not my fault she didn't mean what she said. The motorcycle's fully restored now. Runs like a dream. Took Rachel out on it last Sunday. Cruised around the lake for an hour. She held on tight. Laughed the whole time. Some things are worth rebuilding. Some things aren't. Knowing the difference is the whole game. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and help us bring you more and better stories. Thanks.